In the past few years, there have been many advances in AI, artificial intelligence. At the same time, there have been even more momentous development in another AI, America and India. I'm happy to help out. I'm happy to help out whenever you need a strong bipartisan consensus. There will be and there must be a contest of ideas at home. But we must also come together as one when we speak for our nation. And you have shown that you can do it. Congratulations. Over 2 centuries, we have inspired each other through the lives of great Americans and Indians. We pay tribute to Mahatma Gandhi and Martin Luther King Jr. We also remember many others who work for liberty, equality, and justice. Today, I also wish to pay heartfelt tribute to one of them, Congressman John Lewis. Mr. Speaker, democracy is one of our sacred and shared values. It has evolved over a long time and taken various forms of systems. Throughout history, however, one thing has been clear. Democracy is the spirit that supports equality and dignity. Democracy is the idea that welcomes debate and discourse. Democracy is the culture that gives wings to thought and expression. India is blessed to have such values from times immemorial. In the evolution of the democratic spirit, India is the mother of democracy. We have over 2,500 political parties. Yes, you heard that right. 2,500. About 20 different parties govern various states of India. We have 22 official languages and thousands of dialects, and yet we speak in one voice. Every 100 miles, our cuisine changes. From dosa to aloo paratha, and from Srikhand to Sandesh. We enjoy all of this. We are home to all faiths in the world, and we celebrate all of them. In India, diversity is a natural way of life. Today, the world wants to know more and more about India. I see that. Curiosity in this house too. We were honored to receive over 100 members of the US Congress in India over the last decade. Everyone wants to understand India's development, democracy, and diversity. Everyone wants to know what India is doing right and how. When I first visited the US as a Prime Minister, India was the 10th largest economy in the world. 10th. Today, India is the 5th largest economy. And India will be the 3rd largest economy soon. We are not only growing bigger, but we are also growing faster. When India grows, the whole world grows. After all, we are 1/6 of the world's population. In the last century, when India won its freedom, it inspired many other countries to free themselves from colonial rule. In this century, when India sets benchmark in growth, it will inspire many other countries to do the same. Our vision is सबका साथ, सबका विकास, सबका विश्वास, सबका प्रयास. It means together for everyone's growth, with everyone's trust and everyone's efforts. Let me share with you how this vision is translating into action with speed and scale. We are focusing on infrastructure development. We have given nearly 40 million homes to provide shelter to over 150 million people. We protected our people with 2.2 billion doses of made in India COVID vaccines. And that too free cost. I may be running out of continent soon, so I will stop here. Distinguished members, the Vedas are one of the world's oldest scriptures. They are a great treasure of humanity composed thousands of years ago. Back then, women sages composed many verses in these Vedas. And today, in modern India, women are leading us to a better future. India's vision is not just of development which benefits women. It is of women-led development where women lead the journey of progress. A woman has risen from a humble tribal background to be our head of states. Nearly 1.5 million elected women lead us at various levels. And that is of local governments. Today, women serve our country in the Army, Navy, and Air Force. India also has the highest percentage of women airline pilots in the world. And they have also put us on Mars by leading our Mars mission. I believe that investigating in a girl child lifts up the entire family. Empowering women transforms the nation. Mr. Speaker, when I speak about India's approach to the world, the United States occupy a special place. I know. Our relations are of great importance to all of you. Every member of this Congress has a deep interest in it. When defense and aerospace in India grow, industries in the state of Washington, Arizona, Georgia, Alabama, South Carolina, and Pennsylvania thrive. When American companies grow, their research and development centers in India thrive. When Indians fly more, A single order for aircrafts creates more than 1 million jobs in 44 states in America. When an American phone makers invest in India, it creates an entire ecosystem of jobs and opportunities in both countries. When India and US work together on semiconductors and critical minerals, it helps the world in making supply chains more diverse, resilient and reliable. Indeed, Mr. Speaker, we were strangers in defense cooperation at the turn of century. Now, the United States has become one of our most important defense partners. As I have said directly and publicly, this is not an era of war. But it is one of dialogue and diplomacy. And we all must do what we can to stop the bloodshed and human suffering. Mr. Speaker, the dark clouds of coercion and confrontation are casting their shadow in the Indo-Pacific. The stability of the region has become one of the central concerns of our partnership. We share a vision of a free, open, and inclusive Indo-Pacific. Connected by secure seas, defined by international law, free from domination, and anchored in ASEAN centrality. A region where all nations, small and large, are free and fearless in their choices, where progress is not suffocated by an impossible burdens of debt. Where connectivity is not leveraged for strategic purposes, where all nations are lifted by the high tide of shared prosperity. Our vision does not seek to contain or exclude, but to build a cooperative region of peace and prosperity. We work through regional institutions and with our partners from within the region and beyond. Of this, Quad has emerged as a major force of good for the region. Mr. Speaker, more than 2 decades after 9/11 and more than a decade after 26/11 in Mumbai, radicalism and terrorism still remain a pressing danger for the whole world. These ideologies keep taking new identity and forms, but their intentions are the same. Terrorism is an enemy of humanity, and there can be no ifs and buts in dealing with it. We must overcome all such forces sponsoring and exporting terror. Mr. Speaker, COVID-19's biggest impact was the human loss and suffering it caused. I wish to remember Congressman Ron Wright and the staff members who lost their lives to COVID. As we emerge out of the pandemic, we must give shape to a new world order. Consideration, care, and concern are the need of the hour. Giving a voice to the global south is the way forward. That is why I firmly believe that the African Union be given full membership of G20. We must revive multilateralism and reform multilateral institutions. With better resources and representation that applies to all our global institutions of governance, especially the United Nations. When the world has changed, our institutions too must change, or risk getting replaced by a world of rivalries without rules. In working for a new world order based on international law, our two countries will be at the forefront as partners. Mr. Speaker and distinguished members, today we stand at a new dawn in our relationship that will not only shape the destiny of our two nations, but also that of the world. As the young American poet Amanda Gorman has expressed, when day comes, we step out of the shade. Aflame and unafraid, the new dawn blooms as we free it. For there is always light if only we are brave enough to see it. Our trusted partnership is like the sun in this new dawn that will spread light all around. I am reminded of a poem that I once wrote. आसमान में सिर उठाकर, आसमान में सिर उठाकर, घने बादलों को चीर कर, रोशनी का संकल्प ले, अभी तो सूरज उगा है। अभी तो सूरज उगा है। दृढ़ निश्चय के साथ चलकर, दृढ़ निश्चय के साथ चलकर, हर मुश्किल को पार कर, घोर अंधेरे को मिटाते, घोर अंधेरे को मिटाने अभी तो सूरज उगा है।